because I don't know if the angles are going to work, but anyway, this is a quick video on different little tips and hacks for life with dogs. Things that I suppose I would have struggled with before, and if I have the solutions, I want you to have the solutions. And because poor old Hamish has got his little paw bandaged up, now's the perfect time for me to show you how to get your dog to take tablets, which is one of the things that I keep meaning to show people. So thanks to this little troublemaker, these are going to be 6 different tips that you guys can do at home to make your life easier, and to make your dog's life easier, and to make everybody happy and life peaceful. So the first thing I want to show you is Hamish loves wrecking his toys, and I don't care because they're cheap toys and they're there for him to have fun. But instead of throwing a lot of toys in the bin, what I've started doing is reusing them. He breaks toys, I lose socks, or else somebody's stealing some of my socks. So what I've done is I've joined them up together to make a super toy. This is an example, okay? So what I've done is I get all my old socks that are in a bag that we never found a pair of, and I get some toys. So he's got like his broken tennis ball, which he didn't break, but he's suffering because this is now out of cycle. So I'm just going to put this into a sock. You can't have it yet, you can have it in a minute. A great one is a rope toy, so something with a bit of weight, so that when this toy is finished it'll be a little bit heavy. And he likes his rope toy, he likes all his toys. And bottles. Bottles are brilliant because when you make this toy, the bottles will make the toy float. So you can throw it in the river and happy days. And also, what I do is before I put the bottle into the sock, I let the air out. So when the air is out, it makes more noise, which is more fun. And he loves the noise, which isn't fun for me. If you have like any broken squeaky toys that still have the squeak, throw the squeak into a sock and so on. So once you've got a few together, all you need to do then is just get your cable tie and make this into basically a super toy. Now what you want to be careful is that if your dog likes to eat things that they shouldn't be eating, that you're supervising, because obviously the stringy fabrics from socks could get tangled up in their intestines and so on. So don't blame me if your dog gets sick. So you're watching the dog, so it's not doing anything, it's not ingesting the toy. So this now will float for him, it'll make a bit of noise, it smells like his tennis ball, and it's got the bit of weight so he can kind of fling it around a bit. So this is your toy, and he can play with it later. Normally what they do is they take a while to sniff it to figure out, oh, my toys are in there, and then he likes to bring it to his bed. Next thing is the tablets. So, so many dogs that are already off form or feeling sick, then get tablets forced down their throat. It's not nice, the dog doesn't like it, the owner doesn't like it, and it's bad when you're trying to mind your baby. So what I do is a great little tip, okay? You get your tablet, and obviously, as you normally do, you try to disguise it in a treat, but dogs like Hamish, who are very clever, spit the treat out, or if I put it into his bowl of food, he won't eat it. Even if I break it up and mix it with his food, he won't eat it. So what I do is I trick him, and I have fun with him. So what I do is I get him to do a few sits. When he does his first sit, he'll get a normal treat, and then I'm going to ask him to sit again, and this time he's going to get the treat with the tablet in it. Now, before he gets a chance to figure out there's a tablet in it, I'm going to give him a free treat so he'll quickly swallow what's already in his mouth. That's the best way to get the tablets into them. So Hamish, come, sit. Good boy. Hamish, sit. This is the tablet. Good boy. And another one. Good boy. Good boy. So that was fun. No stress for him. Tablet's gone down. He's had another treat on top of it, so we can't even taste it. And he's happy. And then he's got his tablet gone into him as well. Next thing is our doggy ice pops. So dopamine is a really nice calming, relaxed hormone people get when they, hear bank holiday or go to the spa. And dopamine is a nice hormone for dogs to have running through their system. Chewing releases dopamine, okay? So when we see our little puppies that are chewing on skirting boards or tables when they're at home alone, they're not being bold, they're really upset, and they're basically kind of sucking their thumb, trying to soothe themselves. So we always try to get dogs chewing where possible because it's a good thing for them to do and it makes them feel good. Chewing when you've got guests over means that your dog will be nice and calm and quiet, and you can then have your dog associating people calling, I stay quiet. So what I like to do, and especially with puppies, is you get your rope toy. When you cook something with meat in it, keep the juices, or if you're boiling it, keep the water. Let the water cool down. So mix the juices in with the water, let it cool down, and then stick your rope toy in it. So you're going to soak it all up, let it get all stinky and kind of meaty, juicy. And then once it's soaked up, let it kind of drip off, throw it in a freezer bag and stick it in the freezer. Because what you're going to do is you're going to freeze this for 2 hours, and then what you have then is a little doggy ice pop no food in it, so it's not taking up any of their daily allowance. Tastes like meat, and then they can have a nice chew on this when their friends are over, so they're relaxed, and it's releasing dopamine, so they're calming down. This is also great for puppies who are teething, because it'll cool down their gums, and for cleaning your dog's teeth. So handy. Now you can't have it yet. Next is, again, when your friends come over, or when your dog meets people that he wants to jump on. Obviously, it's hard to tell people, look, ignore him, turn your back, and so on. So we need a kind of management technique to stop the dog from jumping on people. Hamish loves to jump on people, and unfortunately I let him, so it's my fault. But what we like to do is do what I call like a belly grab. We started doing it with the dogs inside the doggy daycare at home time when they were all excited, and it helped to stop them jumping on their owners. So we now do it as part of our training program. So what you want to do is we take the dog kind of like by their belly, by their pelvis area, so like their back armpits. And when you're holding the dog like that, instead of jumping and tucking their pelvis, they're physically restrained there, so that they don't think that they can do this, so they just don't do their jumping. And that way then they're practicing that when I say hello, I stay on the ground. Hello, on the ground. Hello, on the ground. So it becomes like the rehearsal effect whereby they associate, hello person, I'm not jumping. But what we've got to do is make sure that they don't find it frightening. So when you're starting to do with adult dogs, you want to first of all drop a few treats on the ground and then take the dog. So I'm just holding his pelvis, I'm not lifting him off the ground, I'm not hurting him, I'm just supporting him, and he's learning that when I have that funny feeling, nice things are happening, so he's getting his treats. And again, once you start doing it in real life, your dog is saying hello to people, so they're still getting their nicey nice while you're doing the belly hold. So it means that you're not frightening the dog, they're pairing it with good things, and they're physically not jumping on people, so they're not practicing that unwanted behaviour. And it's just pretty foolproof. It works for like almost all dogs. I've never seen it not work unless you're not kind of holding them. You're not gripping the dog, you're kind of supporting him. And also what it means is that your dog then has the freedom to turn away. So you're not holding them by the neck or by the collar, so that they can then move away. If they don't want to interact with the person, they can then move away. What do we have left now? Okay, so just two more things. Everyone's obsessed these days with coconut oil, but these guys can be obsessed with it too. So coconut oil is really good for your dog's skin, really good for their coat, really good for brain development, so it's great for puppies and older dogs, and it's good for their digestion and they like it. So you can give your small dog, start off with like 1/4 teaspoon and then build it up with a small dog up to 1/2 teaspoon, and then with a larger dog you can give from a full teaspoon all the way up to a full tablespoon as they build up their tolerance for it and get used to it. So what I do is I just give all my guys just a teaspoon and I mix it in with their dinner, so they love it. But when it comes to having dinner, we also make that more fun. So many people are giving their dogs dinner out of a bowl, which seems normal, but is what we don't advise anymore. So what we want to do is we want to get them thinking. Mental stimulation is far more important for your dog than physical stimulation. So I'd rather spend 20 minutes doing brain work with Hamish than take him for a 20-minute walk. What we need to remember is, like, he's a genius, you know, he's built to work and work and work and think and learn and keep himself occupied all day, but because of society, our poor old dogs are basically unemployed geniuses. So what I like to do is get him working for his food. So you mix up a little bit of coconut oil anyway, just to make it extra tasty and good for him. And then you can either get like anything from the recycling. So if you've got an old cereal box, before it goes in the recycling, put your dog's dinner in it. If you've got an old milk carton, before it goes in the recycling, dog's dinner. Things like that. So even like what I have here as well is his egg carton, an old egg carton, and then again his dinner is going to go into that. So I try to feed him at least 3 times a day, so he gets 3 different fun experiences a day. And so breaking up into small meals so that they're more fun. He has to think, he has a bit of fun, and he has to work for his food, so it's a challenge. It keeps him happy. Dogs value their food so much more when they have to work for it, don't you? Good boy. And it makes it more fun. You can buy things, so we have like these Kong wobblers in work as well. Similar thing, you've got to put the food in it and he has to knock it over and figure out how to use it. Egg cartons, throw it in recycling afterwards. Empty bottles, milk cartons, cereal boxes, anything that he has to work for, put their dinner in it. Observe them, so you're supervising to make sure he's not eating the cardboard, but he won't, he doesn't anyway, he just wants the food. So there are the hacks for now. If anyone has any more, let me know and we can do another video. But it's just ways to kind of make your life a little bit better, your dog's life much better, and to kind of keep that positive relationship going, to make sure that when they drive you mad and they do silly things, you want to do the nice things as well, to kind of keep that oxytocin released. So thanks for watching. Hopefully the quality was okay and that you could hear it. But if you can't, then tough.